Big impact, big impact. Listen, the Raw after SummerSlam 2024, we have some big impacts, and I think they were a little bit unexpected. I know I didn't see it coming. Cito, did you see it coming?
I didn't see it coming, and I thought it was a really good show, and I was actually fairly happy with both impacts.
Man, so in case y'all don't know, the impacts that we're talking about, and I say impacts with the S because Bronson Reed, that's one, and Odyssey Jones. We got to talk about Bronson Reed first. First of all, man, listen, I remember a few months ago, I was telling you, I said, man, that tsunami that he does off the top rope, it gets over a bit. Unfortunately, they wasn't utilizing him correctly for a good amount of time. You know, the guy has got some speed on him. He's got a good big man look to him. I don't know how old he is, but he seems to be young, but he's ready to go. But it's just like, I think now is his time to shine. And you saw what he did and who he did it to. So that counts for a lot. And we know who he did it to. You saw what he did, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw it, and I'll be honest with you, I was shocked that it ended up happening, and I'm actually all right with it because with this whole Drew McIntyre and CM Punk feud, there was really no room for Seth Rollins in there right now.
Absolutely not. I mean, they could have turned it into a triple threat, but what better way to for a guy who's on the who's pretty much in the mid card, probably the lower mid card, to spring up the way he did to attack Seth Rollins and to hit him, with the tsunami slam a couple different times. I lost count after a while. I'm never gonna lie to you. But the fans were into that. You saw the crowd reaction, so the crowd was very much into that. And this is coming from a heel. You know what I mean? So the fact that this happened to Seth Rollins, it didn't really matter. That move is so over because of his size. And like I said, because of how he moves in the ring, he's something to see. And I knew at some point in time, I said, listen, if you give him something, the right time, this is the right time. I feel like they're gonna know what to do with him from here. WWE does drop the ball sometimes. Sometimes they don't. And I think right here with Bronson Reed, they just picked up a lot of momentum. And I don't think they're going to drop the ball with this one no time soon. If they do, maybe in the future, but I don't see it. This is a good way to make a new star by using this big impact called Bronson Reed. We got to talk about Odyssey Jones. I thought Odyssey Jones was released. I didn't even know he was still with the company. I
But
mean, I don't know if he was, released or not, but you also saw what he did.
yeah, you know what? What he did was actually extremely impressive. He seems like a really strong dude. Again, that was something else that surprised me. I didn't really expect him to be on Raw, and I think after what he did, and you saw the reaction of both New Day members, it's probably gonna help the breakup happen a lot faster between those two.
Well, you think he's going to help the New Day break up?
Well, Xavier didn't look too happy. Xavier
Oh,
did not look too happy whatsoever, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to be the one that splits from New Day.
oof. Well, I don't know what they're going in that direction, but yeah, Odyssey Jones, man, he's something to see. And yeah, man, like it's amazing because this guy made a bigger impact than your guy, Karrion Cross. Karrion Cross has been there for quite some time and made zero impact, made zero noise with the crowd. Just nothing compared to the two at all. Even when AOP arrived, just it don't compare. And I think the reason why I don't compare because when you have these big men that can move the way they can move, you have to give them that moment in time to shine. This guy sidewalk slam both members of AOP. AOP they don't weigh the same as the Young Bucks. These are not 200-pound guys. These are not 189-pound guys. These are big, massive guys that's running in the threes, I'm pretty sure. And they're not short either. They have some height on them. And Odyssey Jones was able to display all that strength and power on both members of AOP. That was impressive. The guy is 6'5". From what they said, he's tipping the scales a little bit over 400 pounds. Man, that's a massive dude, man. And that impact yesterday that we saw on Raw, I'm just anxious to see what they're gonna do next with both of these guys. What you think about what you think is gonna happen next with these guys?
That's actually a really good question. I would imagine that Bronson Reed and Rollins are going to be feuding. I expect them to feud after that. So
Me too,
that's where that's where
definitely.
Bronson's probably going to be going. As far as Odyssey goes, I don't know because again, I think the New Day are going to break up,
I
and I don't think Xavier was overly happy with this. So I do see them breaking up. I just don't know what you do with Odyssey afterwards. I don't know
I
if
don't
they
know.
have him and Kofi
Yeah,
teaming. I'm not sure.
yeah, I don't know either. But hey, man, check this out. I think with Bronson Reed, what will also help him is when him and Seth Rollins do have that match. I wouldn't be surprised if Seth wins the match. But however, they should continue it because Bronson Reed does have to get a victory. I think the impact that he came out the impact that he made, I think it almost means nothing if he doesn't at least get one over on Seth Rollins. Forget about the attacks. Forget about the move. They're over. They're good. The crowd are into it. But what makes a star is they have to win. Seth Rollins does not benefit off of beating Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, however, does benefit if he defeats Seth Rollins. And again, it don't have to be the first match. It could be they could have a trilogy if they want. However they want to do it. But I'm telling you, I feel like Bronson Reed at some point in time has to go over in order for this to mean something. Because you don't want a guy like this just going out there, doing what he did, making this big impact that he did, and then it doesn't go anywhere. Because then after Seth Rollins, where does he go? He has to go after somebody else. There's not too many guys with the big name value of Seth Rollins, but he has to go in there somewhere. Maybe I'm smelling maybe Intercontinental title. I don't know, but the guy has to go in there and he has to make a lot of noise from this point forward. Odyssey Jones don't know where he's going with that either, but yeah, I mean, hopefully they don't stick him with carrying Cross for too long and have that
Oof.
be a thing because that's only gonna, that definitely is gonna not do Odyssey Jones any favors because we've seen what happened, with a couple other people that feuded with Karrion Cross for the moment or whatever. They didn't go too far.
Yeah, carrying Cross is like a anchor. It just drags everybody down. And to touch on the point you were talking about with Bronson Reed, I wouldn't be mad if they do a trilogy with him and Rollins, right? And if they're gonna do three matches at the PLEs, I would say Bronson would have to win one or two of those, and they can have Rollins win the last one. But he needs to stop Rollins completely, not defeat him. He needs to stop it to the point where the medics and the ref just say like, "Ah, no, 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 Seth can't compete anymore. That's it." Almost
That'll be
similar
good.
to
Yeah, yeah, that'll be good.
remember when Matt Hardy returned to WWE and him and Edge
Yes, I
wrestled
do.
at SummerSlam,
Yep.
and they stopped something like that.
Yeah, but hopefully it's not that soon because that happened pretty quickly. But we don't need this to happen too soon because the fans are anticipating. They're bloodthirsty. When you have a good feud going, they're bloodthirsty, so they don't want to see something last for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 4 minutes. You have to go in there and you have to go out there and you do have to wrestle for quite some time and then get to the ending at some point in time, and it could end just like that. But it has to be some stuff to it before it gets to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I would look. I would suggest doing it at Bash in Berlin because that's pretty close, and then you can sell that Rollins' ribs are hurt. So then you have the best way for it to get stopped. You just keep attacking him in the ribs and just keep doing that move on him to the point where the refs just stop it and he's unconscious.
Man, I hope so because I've always hated the rib spot. I always hated when the guy was taped up, but can always beat you. So that means he could beat you only at 30%, but when he's at 100%, he
Forget
can't
about
beat
it.
you. Yeah, it's kind of silly. But listen, we're gonna have to wrap this up. Listen, this is Wrestling with Idiots, and that's Big Impact. Stay tuned. We'll have some more episodes coming to you in the near future. Peace.